I make appointments for people to see homes sometimes. I'm eating. I'm a little embarrassed. And every once in a while, the agent, for whatever reason, doesn't show up. Things happen, man. Especially if you get a seller who's selling their home and can only show their home. They won't let you put a lockbox on it and can only show their home between a certain window. Ooh, that's tough, isn't it? I know how challenging that can be as the real estate agent. That can be really, really, it's tough. In this market, depends on your price point. Unless you got a really, really killer stoked house, that's gonna be tough, man. Sometimes what happens is they get it from their end, and they don't show up. Sometimes the selling or the buying agent rather is working with finicky people with time schedules as well. So things happen. People miss appointments. It is what it is. That's kind of the game of real estate. It's very, very common. It's not nice. Of course, the agent who's bringing the buyer should reach out and say, hey, listen, sorry, not going to be able to make it. Again, things happen. I had things in my teeth while I'm saying this. What you should not do under any circumstances to call that agent with an attitude going, why didn't you show up to your appointment? Agreeability versus disagreeability. I know that I wouldn't want to work with an agent like that because I know that they're just disagreeable people. They're going to be a pain in the ass when it comes to the actual transaction. And you don't want somebody like that who is representing your home anyways, at least not getting buyers looking at the property. It's important that to a degree, a better way to handle that might be, hey, listen, just reaching out. I understand that you weren't able to make it to the appointment. Wanted to just reach out and find out what happened and see if we can't reschedule for you. Rather than, why didn't you make it to your appointment? My sellers have a very tight window. Whoa, slow your roll, man. Remember, you're the one that has something to sell. It's kind of like a grocery store trying to sell some bread, and they're like, we're only open between this hour and this hour, and you don't get there, and they call you up and go, you had an appointment to come get your bread. Why didn't... I'll go down to the next store where they're open 24/7, and I'll get my bread there. So slow your roll. Remember, agreeability versus disagreeability. You want to have an agent representing your home sale that falls somewhere in the middle, because if they're too disagreeable, no one's going to want to work with them. At negotiations, they're going to fight hard for you. But if they're too agreeable, it's a double-edged sword. You just want to find somebody in the middle. That's the takeaway from this. And if you are an agent who does that, who's a little disagreeable, calls him, goes, why didn't you show up to your appointment? Man, you're really rubbing people the wrong way, and they're not going to want to show your property.